In this video, I want to talk about working and playing well with others. Now, the schedule comes out, you've committed, you've declined dates and you've committed to certain dates, and you see you're on this team and you see that it's coming up and you look at it, you look at the player list. I do it all the time. Many times a week, I look at the player list and I look at the names and I say, and I've got everybody. I've got all the tech team and special music teams and security. There's all kinds of people on Planning Center. But I look at the teams, I look at the band, and I see the names on there, and you'll do the same thing. And you'll see somebody's name, and you go, oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad they're on there. Now, the question is, why do people say that? Oh, good. So-and-so's in the band. Are they saying it because I like Tom. He's a nice guy. I like Sally. Yeah, that's part of it. Sure. Oh, they got some good gear. I really like it. Sure. Oh, I haven't seen them in a long time. Sure, you're glad to see their name on the list. But here's why people look at a list, especially a worship leader, looks at a list and sees a name on there and goes, oh, good, so-and-so's going to be there. The reason we do that, the reason I do that, is that individual generally adds stability. That's key. You either add stability or you subtract stability. There's no neutral position. So when you look at a list of people, you go, oh, good, so-and-so's going to be there, and so is so-and-so, because they add stability. Now, how do you add stability? Well, you add stability by being on time. Now, I've said this to people, I teach the Bible too, and this just shocks rooms full of people. I'll say, if you struggle with the sin of lateness, blah, 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 and you should just see people's countenance and go, oh, struggle with the sin of lateness. You're going to call lateness a sin? Well, maybe. Jesus says, let your yes be yes. So if I say, will you pick me up and take me to the airport at 8 a.m., and you say yes, and then you show up at 8:30, I don't think your yes was yes. It's the same thing with this. Or you get a job. Hey, you're going to work 8 to 5. We'll pay you this much money. Well, if they're paying you this much money to work 8 to 5 and you show up at 9:30, well, then you're cheating the company and your yes isn't yes. So what I'm saying to you is this. When a player is laser on time, that's a good yes. That adds stability. And so, generally, like on a Sunday morning, I will pray at 8 o'clock sharp, and we're making music at 8:01. I mean making music, not having a meeting, making music at 8:01. And so you can contribute to that stability by being on time, by being ready. If you're a player that has to lug in gear and set up gear, set your gear up, tune your instrument, be ready to go when it's downbeat time. That's how you can add stability. Another way you can add stability is to have a tuned instrument. And I'll make more discussion of that sometime in the future. But a laser-tuned instrument is critical for adding stability. If it ain't in tune, it ain't stable. Here's the other thing. If you're not on time, and I mean in time with the music, on the click track, that robs the whole operation of stability. And usually, the person doing that doesn't even know they're doing it. They're just happily strumming along. They're having a great time, and the rest of the band's going, oh, the boat's going to sink, and the engineer's going, out you go. That takes away stability. Question for you. Which is more important? Playing in tune or playing in time? There's an answer. The answer is, both are important, but the answer is playing in time. Because if you're not playing in time, you are out of tune because you're playing the wrong note for a millisecond. So being in time, you have to learn to love that click track. And a good piece of advice somebody gave me, one of our drummers, he said, anytime he feels the band starting to undulate, you feel, oh no, it's weird, the timing's starting to get crazy. Stop for a second and think that's probably me, may or may not be, but just be in the habit of going, that's probably me. And you glue yourself to the click track, and if everybody does that, the whole thing settles down. Good tactic, okay? So just remember, adding stability is the reason people like playing with you. If you come in prepared and you're not bumbling around, if you play in time and play in tune, people love playing with you. Last thing is this. I love giving everybody an architecture, okay? So we have very deliberate intros and transitions and some stops and starts and some spangly things that I throw in there. I give a good solid architecture. It's not like, how do you want to end this? Well, what are you going to do now? Blah, blah. That just drags on a rehearsal, okay? It takes forever. I give you a solid architecture. You know what's happening. But in the middle of all that, you just play whatever you like. Total freedom. I mean, it's really, really awesome because each player brings their own game, and when we switch out players, all of a sudden the song has a little bit of a different feel, and we're all playing with different players all the time. It's just so healthy and fun and exciting. And so just be mindful of that. I give you the architecture, and then you have the total freedom to play. Last thing is we use something called lead sheets. And lead sheets scare people because it looks like some kind of formal piece of music. It's written with measures, it's written with a time signature and squiggly doodles and stuff like that. But it's really nothing more than lyrics with a chord over it. And then we stick in a melody line for the singers. That's it. So when you look at a piece of music, you go, oh man, that looks scary. I don't know what to do with it. Don't worry. It's just lyrics with a chord above it with a melody line for the singer. The architecture is provided, and then you play what you feel.